sales floor. This is just one of those great little things. You know, you look at certain things hanging out there on the shelf in the wholesale house, isn't that just beautiful? Not really. But if you breathe a little life into it, we just want to do a quick fluff. You don't have to spend all day long fluffing one thing. Sometimes in the store I'll say to the girls, would you fluff these so I can get these ready? And I'll go back in 20 minutes and she's just like, I say, no, honey, you do it like this. You just do it fast. It's, you know, very forgiving. It's permanent materials. You know, you get a better look that way. Work it fast and you have a better flow through material. So we're going to use 3 of these little swags. And today, I think Carrie mentioned, and Rochelle told me earlier, today they get a what discount on their supply material?
10%.
10%. So this is already at a great value. Plus, we're going to take 10% off of it today. I'm going to show you how you can make even more money for your shop. So again, a quick, easy fluff. How many do permanent materials in your store? Does anybody only do permanent materials in their store? You do only permanents. Okay. Quick, easy fluff. There's number 2. We're going to take number 3, all the same little swag. This is all wired material, so it makes it very easy to work with. You can add a lot of different things, so it just grabs on. You don't need all that extra glue and wire going into this wreath. It's just going to be all the little wires already there, put together. All right, so we got 3 of these little swags. Little swags, you're just going to take them right onto a grapevine foundation, and you're just going to form it right to the wreath. To attach it, I'm going to use some bark wire, no glue. How many times have you made wreaths in the store and somebody comes and says, you know, I just love that Dusky, but could you put orange pumpkins in there instead of the pink pumpkin? I'd be happy to. So you kind of grit your teeth and you take it to the back of it and you're cutting all this glue and all this extra wire that you added to it. So this is what's going to happen. This is just going to put this together easily for you. And it's easy to take it apart if they do want to take something out, add something to. Next year they might bring the same wreath back in and say, I'd like just a little bit bolder color leaves this year. Can you add something for them? Sure you can. You untie this bark wire. And it holds it nice and secure, even better than the glue. Sometimes glue over the years, you know, or even after 1 year, the glue shrinks and it drops off, or it'll flake. Or you put it outside on your front door, and before you know it, you have this beautiful swag laying in between the screen door and the storm door. It's like, well, this is nice. So this is just going to hold it nice and secure for you. Get your bark wire through your wreath. Just give it a good twist. Doesn't need a lot. And it's just beginning the simple foundation of your wreath. It's going to hold it nice and secure. It's not going anywhere. So you can just add a lot more components to this as you go along. A little bit more of that bark wire. So you all know what bark wire is. It's just a fabric covered or a bark covered wire. It's great to work with. Again, you need just about 2 twists, about 2 spots of that little swag. Kind of a coleus foliage. It's got some beautiful fall berries, a beautiful complement to color for fall. So again, you've got 2 swags now added to that wreath. So you're just building a real quick foundation for yourself. If y'all have any questions at any time, just holler at me. Sometimes I know the answer. When I do things like this, these little foundation wreaths, I'll make 6 up at a time. I'll put them in the background. When someone comes in and says, hey, I'd like to have this, could you add these pumpkins, could you add these leaves, could you add this scarecrow, something like that. I have them all ready to go, so it saves me time. And when I buy 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever of the swags, I've used them all up. So I haven't got that just bulk sitting in the warehouse, you know, or on the shelf in the back of the store. It's ready to go, so it's ready to go out the door. So So I buy it with retail money. Okay, so we got 3 of those little swags just added to that grapevine. And that's your foundation. You're ready to go. So you can add any component you want at this point and really jazz it up. I'm just going to take my hecklers up there. She found the cocktails. All right, so we've got this. This is one bunch you buy. It's $8.95 here. Again, you can save 10% on that today. So we're going to take that. We're just going to divide it down to the individual stems. I mean, you could use that whole stem. I like a little bit more coverage. I like to get the best bang for my buck. Now, I tell you that I always use up everything in the store. I don't throw away anything. I lie, because I do have a box of that stuff back here too. And every once in a while I go, oh, I got to use that. And I just kick it a little bit further in the back so I can't see it. We all do it. We don't do it, but we really do. But eventually we get to it. All right, we're just going to drag those stems through our glue pot. Let me tell you a little bit about the glue pot. I found out some interesting things this year. One of them is, how many use a frying pan in their store with their glue pot? An old-fashioned chicken frying pan. Pardon? Used to. Okay, do you use one of these now? Okay. So, we have these chicken fryers that Mama used to fry chicken as kids. We crank that baby up when we get there in the morning, 550 degrees, right? To glue, melt that glue down. How many do that? Do we all do it? Crank it up, melt the glue fast, and then kick it back down? What happens when you kick it up to 500 degrees, you just burn the properties of your glue. There's no adherence left to your glue. You burn the properties. So once you turn it back down, sure, it cools down and it will stick. It may stick for an hour, maybe stick for 2 days, but the properties will burn your glue. You've got to keep it a consistency, 350 degrees or under. And that's what these little pans are set at, 350, 375, 350. So it's going to keep your glue consistent. A lot of times, you see a lot of those strings that show up in your glue, and that's because you burnt the properties. That's why it's so stringy. If you do have the strings in your glue, after your piece is complete, you take a hairdryer on high, just go over top of it. All those little spider webs that are there from the glue stick all disappear for you. So it'll clean it up nicely, so you're not constantly picking. Take a few more of these little stems.
When you're designing, how often do you think of the price point for what is going to run? Or do you just design, listen to the voices there?
That's a great question. I design retail appeal, is what I say.
Okay.
Pieces that I make, I refer to as STS. It's stuff that sells. So, everybody's marketplace is different. I mean, your marketplace is different than mine. Yours is different than yours. I mean, everybody has different. So somebody says, Dusky, how do you mark this? What's your markup? My best answer to that is what the market will bear. What will your market bear? Will they buy a $300 wreath? Will they buy a $100 wreath? Will they buy a $25 wreath? So you have to gear it down to what your customer is comfortable with. I really kind of know exactly what's going into a piece when I do it. And if I gather up, 19 stems of silks, some foliages, a wreath base, I've kind of got that price in my head as I'm going to the design table with it. If it's a custom piece, I know what they want to pay for. So it's an easy way to do it. You really know how much they want to spend. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Does anybody know what the average markup is on silk flowers today in your store? So you have stems, pardon? 2.5. You're exactly right. How many can get more than that? Where are you located? I want to move next door to you. Where are you located? No, seriously, what do you use to mark up?
On my silks, I'm like,
Do you? Very good. And do you charge for labor for assembling?
see, I don't do that because my girls, they tend to always forget. So I just got things priced well enough where my labor's already worked in.
That's great. All right, so we've added those 3 stems as we've chatted here. And those 3 little swags give us a good foundation to work from. One final fluff. These little wires are great. Just adds a lot of bounce and depth to the piece. And I love movement in a wreath. Sometimes we make wreaths and we just stiff, they're solid, they're stiff, they're not going to move. I like when you open that door, there's just that little bit of movement to it, so it has more of a natural feel. All right, so just 3 stems, 3 swags, 1 grapevine wreath makes that great foundation each and every time. This is my core price. This is where I start my foundation from. If they want to add pumpkins, if they want to add boards, some ribbon, those are all additions. But you can hang this right there, and this is their core wreath. It's amazing how many of these core wreaths will sell just like that. Because the gals like to go home and put their own bow on. They like to put their own scarecrow that the kids made in school, something like that. So it's just a great foundation to work on. This same foundation, by just adding a few pumpkins, comes out to be this. It's a little smaller size, not as much to the foliage as in the other one, but it makes a great look and a great welcoming fall. You like that? Bold colors?